yesterday. Get where them want and switch it up already. Them not go draw we out on no today. It not so easy if you drain me energy. Cause blessings follow anywhere when we dey. A good with everybody. No, they have to say.
Hey, woman them royal, soldier them loyal, casual or formal, them selling no normal. Flow them immortal, yeah, more than a jawful, yeah. Rhythm them awful, wicked and lawful, we not stopping, no. Man a time for no stoplight, man a travel at top speed, but this are the top flight. This are the big league. So every 8 bar or 16 is a big deal. Food for your thought and a kid's meal. Package it proper, it been sealed. Recipe of a master. Them boy they can't boil water. Cooking up a recipe a disaster. That are the reason, this are my season. Them my degrees are torture. They're the torture, different peaks. So regular people now walk at. Me I compete with my past self. That is what making me sharper. Look how we achieve every quarter. Way before we make a quarter. Always have heart, so when times hard, we pick up and we a go harder. None of my people not starve, yeah. Me have the world in my palm, take it and bring it a yard, yeah.
Them say they love we, but that I yesterday. Get where they want and switch it up already. Them not go draw we out on no today. It not so easy if you drain me energy. No, sir. Cause blessings follow anywhere where we dey. A good with everybody. No, they have to say.
With the on target, we get the top of the market. If there is ever a problem, listen to the album and that go to solve it. We are tired clean, we are said I can. We not go with the flow, we are head height. Sevilla will it down like a Jedi. Couple souls, couple days, pan the roads in a bed and the dancers come in, pan a red I go. Cerebral flow in my head I go. Try reach me now, but my cell line slow. I keep it low, it's like where I go. Try teach me how, but I said I know. People know me like you like hope, and I need to know premise when I show. I collect my dough, do my thing and go.
No, when you say hello proto, the world noto, them one motto. Touchdown UK, sell out show. New minister culture, we get some vote.
A regular we have to transit to airport and I we
Welcome to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Christina Monteith.
And I'm Malik.
And it's World Radio Day.
Hooray!
Kind of feels like a birthday, doesn't it?
Trust me.
So, we have partnered with UNESCO to bring to you our special World Radio Day broadcast today. So you can just imagine everything that we'll be talking about today is about radio, what it does, what it is, what's its significance to community building and nation building and how important it is. So just stay with us because that's all we'll be looking at today. So of course, from You Say Radio, we have to turn up like Malik is already, the energy is already here. So we'll be looking back at Talk Up Radio's growth over 5 years on air. Wow. Can you imagine 5 years? Wow. And you know, some of us have been here from the very first day, so it doesn't even feel like 5 years, but oh my god, it's such a momentous occasion for us. But we'll also be checking out the cultural and heritage dimensions of radio with representatives from Abeng 88.7. Do you know what Abeng 88.7 is, Malik?
Boy, it just sounds African.
That is a good guess because it is, a radio station that is very much integral to the Maroon community.
Really?
From a compound. So, I'm there. Culture, heritage. Yes. I'm so excited for that as well. But we'll also be taking the conversation to the international stage with a correspondent from Nigeria who is a powerful youth in radio from over there.
Nice.
Yeah. But of course, we couldn't leave it there. We have to talk to UNESCO about why they're supporting radio and why they're supporting youth in radio all across the Caribbean and what's next for them.
Okay.
So, Malik, what's our first radio fact?
So, in celebration of World Radio Day, our first radio fact is that radio is over 110 years old today. This never makes no sense, Christina, but that's 110 years of evolution, connection, and innovation.
Yeah, from Marconi all the way to here. Guys, go on Google who Guglielmo Marconi is. He's one of them first radio pioneers. But yes, so it is World Radio Day on Talk Up Radio, powered by UNESCO. So stay tuned. We're here till 1 p.m. Listen to Talk Up Radio here or online at nationwideradiojm.com, or get the Nationwide app in your relevant app store, or watch and interact with us live on Nationwide 90 FM on YouTube. Because radio is no longer just the listening, you can watch it.
Yes.
You can save it for later. You can get it as a podcast. Radio is so dynamic, and it really brings together all these people from all across the world, and that's what we're doing today. This is Talk Up Radio, a youth-led Talk Up Youth production produced by me, Christina Monteith, and Andrika Rigg. We'll be right back after this break. Talk Up Youth, Musefi.
Talk Up Youth.
There are different ways in which we learn. At eLearning Jamaica, we are committed to promoting the integration and infusion of technology in the education system. Our Tablets for Teachers program is distributing 25,000 tablets to teachers across the island and making 40,000 tablets available to students through our Technology in Infant and Primary Schools program. We are proud to be serving our nation. eLearning Jamaica, an agency of the Ministry of Science, Energy and Technology. E-access to learning for all.
Come to Frame Art Jamaica Limited for your one-stop framing, graphic design and printing needs. We frame photos, certificates, paintings, t-shirts and so much more. We print banners and print on canvas. You can also get high-quality prints and framing done in a quick turnaround time to fit your budget. Visit Frame Arts Jamaica at 22C Old Hope Road, Kingston 5, Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-929-3058 or visit us at info@frameartjamaica.com. Serving you for more than 30 years.
It takes proper financial planning and the right partner to get ahead, especially in challenging times. As a civil servant, it's comforting to know that my credit union is working to make my life much easier. Whatever my financial goals, the Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited has a solution for me. They give up to 10 times your shares in secured loans, up to $2.5 million in unsecured loans, and up to 8% on your savings and investment accounts. The Public Sector Employees Cooperative Credit Union Limited, where your financial security matters most.
This February the 13th, we join UNESCO and thousands of stations in wishing you a beautiful World Radio Day. New World, New Radio is the theme of this 10th edition. In this year of change and adjustment, UNESCO and your local station are committed to ensuring that radio continues to evolve, to innovate, to connect.
Together, let's celebrate this day on www.worldradioday.org and our social networks, #WorldRadioDay, #NewWorldNewRadio.
This is it.
Something special about this time, like we hit a vital story, one of a kind. Been so long ago since I could find same magnifique bright, I see your light shine. You're the real one, the gentle kind. You're not perfect, Lord knows you have some secret side, but I will keep them since it's been a while that I see you making effort to show me your mind.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of Jamaican youth, coming to you live on Nationwide 90 FM. And today, we are the voice of World Radio Day. Hooray! Powered by UNESCO Caribbean. And your radio fact again this morning is in 1939, the first broadcast was transmitted with a shortwave ham-operated unit from the Seaview Avenue home of John Grinnon. The call sign was VP5PZ. VP5PZ. and offered wartime news and information for a half hour once a week for 110 years old radio. Trust me, because VP. This all sound too long, Christina. We know about nationwide 90 FM. Those are short terms we used to call radio channels. VP5PZ. What's going on?
Yeah, that's like
Evolution.
radio heritage, like way back in the day.
Legit.
Which I mean, if you are a senior person in the game, you would know these things. I know it was so so bad,
A
but
senior
we
moment.
don't know these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And offering wartime news from World War II. Yikes. All right. So we're going to jump into our Talk Up Radio's evolution part of this discussion because, like we said earlier, Talk Up Radio has been around for 5 years, and you guys, our listeners, have been with us, a lot of you, for that entire time. So you've seen the growth, you've seen the changes that have happened, and how we've evolved and moved as radio has also evolved. So let's talk about it a little bit, Malik. What is World Radio Day? We're going to jump into some of the information that we have in the script just to
Right.
tell you, what actually is World Radio Day. What does it mean? Why is it celebrated?
Right.
What's it about?
So, as we said earlier, for those who are just joining us, radio is over 110 years old today. And you can see where we're coming from with VP5. I don't even want to sort it out because it's so long. But radio is just so important because of the evolution, connection, and innovation that it provides. And this year, a part of the 110th anniversary, you have a unique opportunity, and even us right here on Talk Up Radio, to remind our listeners that radio is an integral part of our world, that evolves with it. It gives us history, as you're saying, and I think because we have the opportunity to connect and share with so many people, you actually have this archiving or history being formed as part of Radioland. And so radio continues to forge links, provide services to each other, and to adapt to our lifestyles thanks to new technologies. And now we've evolved into podcasts, the internet with wireless headphones.
Yeah, back in the day, you used to talk about satellite radio, and
Yes.
then now, what I think podcasts are so cool. Like having a voice in your head for like 2 hours and you can just save it and then come back and look at it at another time. Like just the format of what radio is has evolved so much, and just for us to be here and to be a part of that, even after everybody said radio was dead and new
Yeah.
traditional media is gone and it's been replaced and all of that, but it hasn't really.
It
Even
stood the
if we
test of
read
time.
and if we read some of the content that we have here on Radio Facts, radio is still the most consumed media across the world by far.
Wow.
Can you
So
imagine?
even with the advent of the technology and the social media, it has stood the test of time and remained a consistent
Exactly.
voice for the listenership out there in the world.
Yeah, and part of it is it has such a low barrier to entry. Like anybody with a phone can pick up FM radio. So wherever you are, if you live in a rural community, for example, and you might not get signal or internet or telecommunications in the broader sense, you probably can have radio.
But Christina, what's funny, when I was reflecting on the topic, when you reminded us about World Radio Day being today, I thought about even, for example, I think it was Hurricane Ivan, and at that time we didn't have iPhones and Samsung smartphones. It was a little small phone you used to buy from the telecommunication providers, and I had a little one, but light went, everything went, but that phone, it was fully charged and I could plug in my headphones and pick up the radio because it was still being able to give us updates on what was happening. And as you're saying, so even though we've advanced with technology, that has still remained a consistent part of our lifestyle.
And I so badly want to get into this conversation about Talk Radio, but you just brought up such an important point. One of the main, serious, important, big parts of why radio is so important across the world is for that emergency situation.
Yes.
Because when our telecommunications grid fails and when we don't have light and when the iPhone can't work and all of those things, radio is still there. It is consistent. It is just one of those very ubiquitous parts of life all across the world.
And I just had a flashback. I'm a Netflix fan of The Crown. I didn't even know The Crown.
Yes.
That, channels Queen Elizabeth's history. But I just remember, because even in the show, though it's fictitious, it was telling you, or it drops pieces of history in it. And it was showing us, for example, how she was raised during the World War as a young child.
Mm-hmm.
And it was radio that they used to let her and her younger sister inspire hope in the children at the time whose parents would have gone out to war. So when you gave us this little bit of information about the first radio broadcast about wartime news, it kind of brought me back a bit into history to remember that.
All right, so let's jump into our own discussion about Talk Up Radio. Malik, you're an attorney, and our team has teachers, young people in the BPO sector, marketing professionals, because Talk Up Radio is a space for everybody, and there's a space for everybody in
Right.
radio. So, what's your relationship with radio and media generally?
Well, for me, with radio, it's consistent for me. I think the most I listen to radio is driving or commuting. So I do a lot of driving as part of my daily work. So on the way to work, I'll be tuning to this station or that station. Obviously, Nationwide 90 FM is my top station. And when I'm rushing here to studio in the days, I've listened to talking history before getting here. So radio keeps me going, or it helps to set my day up when I'm moving up and down. And also, I think even when you're driving, especially long distances, they'll tell you, you need something to keep you active, to keep your mind. So radio keeps me in that mode. I think as well, so when there are serious national debates or discussions going on as well, I would prefer, or I generally prefer, to consume that information via radio than television, interestingly. So that's my general usage or consumption of radio information. But generally, of course, I still use my social media as well. And I'm just so proud, as you said, Christina, of how we as Talk Up have grown to the point now where we're not just hearing, but we can now view. So even weeks when I'm not in studio, I can still keep up and see what's happening in studio with this co-host because of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, I love everything he said because everybody has their own unique relationship with radio, whether it's because I remember as a child, my mom would say you wake up 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to go to school. You just turn on the radio, and there's something so familiar and consistent
Yes.
about hearing the same voices.
Over and over.
I used to be able to get ready to the radio.
Yes.
Like if there was a song that came on at this time, I knew I was late because
Or
I'm not supposed to hear that
Or
song.
the traffic update or the weather, something. But
Yes,
it
and-
forms a part of our daily
Exactly.
routines.
It is so much a part of the culture. When, like you said, something really big happens internationally or locally, you need to tune in and hear what Mr. Hughes has to say about it, or just to keep, involved in the conversation. And I mean, I have a little bit of a different relationship with radio in the sense that I studied journalism,
Right.
and then I studied media and communications and creative industries for my master's as well. So I am so interested in how it works, like the behind the scenes of it, especially as a producer. So my relationship is more of it. What are the
The technical.
capabilities of the space? You get me? Yeah, we do radio here, and we have our own focus on what we want to use it to build,
Right.
or radio, our youth community, and that kind of thing, and to amplify youth voices. But then when you delve into community radio and these small communities that have their own radio spaces to talk about issues that are
Unique to
important to
them,
them,
right.
and build people power in that sense. When there's an important, declaration made in Parliament, they go back to the community and they say, this is how this will affect you as our neighbors, as our citizens. It's so important to our political participation that I don't think we spend enough time developing that kind of space. Things like school radio.
Yes.
It's not a big deal
You
here,
hear,
but there are
yes.
places in the world where, your school might have a radio station. I don't mean university, I mean high school and
schools,
prep
yes.
school.
But I think we were exposed to that because we're the generation that watched cable. So when you watch some of those old shows
Exactly.
with teenage drama, you'd hear Report to the Office, and they had the radio channel that they could listen to. But
Yes.
we don't have that here, I think.
And it's such
there's
an
a space for
important
it.
part of the culture because that is the space where you would get students to think, all right, I need to cue into what's happening in my school because
Right.
I want to be an active citizen in the school. And then when you move into adulthood, that mentality transfers to active participation in the governance of your own country.
And as you said earlier, for persons who are also interested in pursuing a career path. And
Exactly.
to understand the technical workings as well. To have that opportunity to job shadow from now with a school radio could, work wonders.
All right. So we're going to hear from some of the other Talk Up Radio
Yes.
community friends, everybody that we have with us. And we asked them 2 questions. We asked them what were their favorite episodes, or radio is celebrated all over the world for being a tool for connecting and building communities. How has being a part of Talk Up Radio community been for you? So let's cue that up. Drika, where's my producer?
She's there, man.
All right. So we're ready. We're just going to listen to what some of the youth have been saying.
Hey, Talk Up Radio family, this is Shakira, and I'm so excited to celebrate World Radio Day with the team. Talk Up Radio has indeed been a blessing to my life. I have enjoyed self-development, self-empowerment, and I've seen advocacy through this platform because each week we bring you thought-provoking topics that highlight the views of young people. So as we continue for the work, I just want to big up quickly Mama E and the producers who dedicate time every single week for ensure that the show go off with a bang. Talk up youth, myself a talk up youth.
Hello everyone, my name is Maya, a new addition to the team. Being a part of Talk Up Radio has contributed to an increased level of self-awareness, especially in the manner in which I portray myself on social media, because not only am I representing myself, but also the agency. Additionally, I've developed an appreciation for what's going on in the economy so that I can contribute effortlessly to the vigorous conversations composed on and off air. Thank you.
Hey everyone, this is Damon, and being a part of this program has helped to strengthen my voice as a youth advocate and created avenues for networking with other individuals who are passionate about seeing change in Jamaica. And one of my most memorable episodes here at Talk Up Youth saw me co-hosting with our producer Christina on breast cancer awareness, and that certainly opened my eyes to the need to be more educated in this area as men in our society. Thank you.
Talk Up Youth has contributed to the knowledge that I possess about issues that are affecting the youth and has provided a platform to advocate for change. Through Talk Up Radio, I've met many like-minded youth, powerful youth, who are not afraid to step out in order to ensure that our voices are being heard. Big up to Mama Empress for not only providing this platform, but also guiding us in the right path. Talk Up Youth, myself, Talk Up Youth.
Hi everyone, so this is Steven. My most favorite episode of Talk Up Youth has to be the episode that we did last year with the Jamaica Mental Health Advocacy Network, where we looked at how the coronavirus pandemic was affecting persons in the hospitality industry. It's my favorite episode because it showed me that what we're doing at Talk Up Youth is far beyond the scope of what any one individual can do, and it showed me that when we put our voices together in the right places, in the right spaces, and in the right way, we can get anything that we set our minds to done.
Talk Up Radio family, Narisha here, and it's an absolute pleasure to be able to celebrate World Radio Day with the Talk Up Radio team. The radio show has allowed me to develop both professionally and personally while providing the opportunity for myself and other youngsters to champion causes that we're passionate about through youth advocacy. Advocacy is a very crucial part of transformation and change in society. The show provides the opportunity for us to offer solutions and speak from an educated perspective while networking and promoting positivity among young people. The radio show is a part of what is right with Jamaica. So Talk Up Youth, let's keep on going. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie. Talk Up Youth.
All right, so those were the voices of some of our Talk Up Radio co-hosts here at Talk Up Radio. So we're going to take a break. We're still having this amazing World Radio Day celebration here on Talk Up Radio, powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. We'll be taking a break. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
Healthcare workers are working very hard to ensure lives are saved and people recover quickly from COVID-19. But their work is becoming harder because you're not wearing your mask, washing your hands with soap and water, or using hand sanitizer, and you are not maintaining physical distance. Let's limit the need for hospital beds and ventilators. Do the right thing. Cover your nose and mouth with a mask. Practice good hand hygiene and maintain a physical distance of 6 feet between you and others. COVID-19 is not over. Protect yourself while protecting others. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Attention! Corporations, hotels, medical labs, doctors' offices. Protect your staff and patients from contracting or spreading COVID-19. Know your status. Get a COVID-19 antigen rapid test. Results in 15 minutes. Identify asymptomatics with 99% accuracy. Call approved business solutions 876-283-2056 or Microcheck Laboratories 876-879-0012. Kits are internationally accredited or approved by the Ministry of Health. Keep your negative test card to show. It is 2021! Time to plan! Studying overseas and need assistance? Call the experts at Versan Educational Services 876-755-2187 for ages 14 to 66. Get on board! Versan Educational Services is the best.
Universal Service Fund. So we tell them we're connecting the nation. Internet and information. We're connecting the nation. Bringing internet. Alright, when you want to stick a bet, everybody have to get internet. No community access point. Connection coulda day or night. And we've got public Wi-Fi, hotspot, and a touch you training, we got that. Enabling those in need, connecting us to technology.
A message from the Universal Service Fund. Follow us on social media at USF Jamaica.
It's undeniable that we should be together.
Music has a way of opening our hearts and helping us feel more connected to others. It's a direct line to our emotions and state of being. Urban Paradise will do just that. Every Sunday morning, 10 to 11:30. Join me, Diane Ashton Smith, as I serve up positive storytelling through music, ranging in styles from contemporary jazz and up-and-coming pop cultural expressions to old-school R&B. That's Urban Paradise, this and every Sunday, 10 to 11:30 a.m. on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media, opening our hearts, connecting to others.
Urban Paradise is sponsored by J&N Bank. We'll help you find a way.
This February the 13th, we join UNESCO and thousands of stations in wishing you a beautiful World Radio Day. New World, New Radio is the theme of this 10th edition. In this year of change and adjustment, UNESCO and your local station are committed to ensuring that radio continues to evolve, to innovate, to connect.
Together, let's celebrate this day on www.worldradioday.org and our social networks, #World Radio Day, #New World New Radio.
Jamaica. This are the national dengue free crew. Come join the fight, stop mosquito from bite you. That mean we are go clean up school, workplace, home and community too. We have a task at plan, every crevice and corner for clean out the plan. Make we get rid of dengue across the island. Let's put it on the Facebook and Instagram. Tell the whole nation say this are the national dengue free crew. Come join the fight, stop mosquito from bite you.
Mosquitoes wanted dead, not alive. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Them say them love we, but that I see them. Get where them want and switch it up already. Them not go try we out on no today. It not so easy to drain me energy. God blessings follow.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show. We are in here vibing, guys. This is Protege. Anyway, it is World Radio Day.
Hooray! Powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO.
In a rhyme, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
So I'm Christina and
I'm Malik.
And we're just bringing you World Radio Day vibes on Talk Up Radio. Malik, what's our next radio fact?
The next radio fact is, in the early 1950s, Radio Jamaica and Rediffusion Network distributed some 200 little brown radio boxes, aka rediffusion boxes, to communal locations, police stations, schools, shops, so that more Jamaicans would have access to radio information and programming. Wow, again, this is such good radio history, Christina.
Imagine, you needed a little media in your life and you have to go to the police station for it.
My, have we evolved.
Right? We're coming from so far. Morning as well to our YouTube family. I'm loving the comments. Keep them coming. We're talking about World Radio Day. But we have some guests online. I told you we were going to do this culture and heritage niceness. We have Miss Norma Rowe, Nevisha McLegon, and Jordan Cross from Abeng 88.7. Guys, I'm so excited for this conversation. Good morning. Let me check who's online. Miss Norma? Yes. Morning.
How are you?
We're good. Nevisha?
Good morning.
Morning. And Jordan?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. I'm hoping everybody is good because we're going to get right into this conversation. So, we know a little bit about the cultural history of the Abeng, but what's the story of how Abeng Radio got its name?
Well, Abeng Radio got its name because Abeng is the tool, or maybe it's the horn that we use to communicate. Our ancestors used the Abeng to communicate. So Abeng becomes the communication, the voice of the Maroons via radio in these modern times.
That is so powerful. To ground a modern radio station in our culture and our history and our heritage and bring that forward,
It's just connection, though. It's just so clear from what they're saying. And it's World Radio Day, so we're celebrating radio as an amazing ICT and the versatility of the medium. But how would you say Abeng Radio is unique?
I think we're unique because we're very close-knit. We're like a big family. We're closer together than a lot of other people.
Which is an amazing part of radio, to build a community like that. It's actually very essential. So let's jump in somewhere. Talk to us a little bit about your programming. When we tune into Abeng Radio, who will we hear and what can we look forward to hearing and learning?
When you tune in the morning, the 6:03, we are officially on air. And at that time, we have a program, Abeng Divine Praise and Glory. It's a worship program. It lasts for 2 hours, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the morning. And then there are other programs that you can hear. And on Saturdays at 10 to 10:30, we have the children's program, where we talk about issues that affect us as young people.
Right.
Yes.
And a lot of other stuff going on around us.
So they have basically, Christy, I'm picking up a very diverse range of programs that are unique to them. But I want to find out, your focus is on the needs and voices of the Maroon peoples in Jamaica. How does that heritage and culture impact the way you do radio? For example, we at Talk Up Radio focus on youth in the community. So we put our youth voices first, and having fun is on an equal footing while also being informative. But how does the heritage and culture impact the way you do radio on Abeng Radio?
The heritage and culture is impacted throughout what we're doing. Right now we're working on a program called Under the Kinder Tree. Under the Kinder Tree. And the Kinder Tree, that program will be a program that talks about our history, what happens, where we are now, and where we plan to go in terms of us as a people, where we will be showcasing more of our Maroon culture, more of who we are as a people, as Maroons, what it is that our ancestors left us, what is it that they fought for, and where we are now as a nation, as a sovereign nation, where we are with our treaty and our treaty rights as a sovereign nation. So that program, we are really avidly working on that to get it out.
I'm curious, because you just gave us the significance of the Abeng. What's the significance of this Kinder Tree, if any?
It was where meetings of war were held. They discussed what they were going to do. They gathered and they sung and they danced and had fun.
So it really represents communality again. Christina, I really pulled that question because I'm finding so far that with Abeng 88.7, there's so much history and culture, not just for the Maroons themselves, a specific group, but for Jamaicans on a whole
Exactly.
to really benefit from. Wow, wow,
See,
wow.
this is what we mean when we say voice. This is the voice of the Maroon community. It's important.
And then there's another program that we have that actually on air now, just a little bit, almost 2 years. It's on a Sunday evening from 5 to 6. And that program is called Soul Food. As you know, our ancestors were they were believers in the Lord. I wouldn't say religious. They were Christians. And a lot of what was done was founded on their belief that they could win a war that was waged for over 80 plus years, or a battle between them and the British, and they won. So that program, Soul Food, talks about the importance of feeding your soul and your body.
So it's really holistic development overall. I'm seeing, Christina, that
Yes.
is really coming out of Abeng 88.7. But I want to shift the discussion a little bit, Abeng 88.7, and look at the fact that in this era in which we exist now, fake news and misinformation exists. And we definitely feel a strong imperative to ensure we, for example, at Talk Up Radio, are a good source, that's trustworthy content, especially in emergency situations like the COVID-19 pandemic that we're experiencing worldwide. Have you encountered this issue as well, and how are you responding to it, dealing with, fake news and misinformation? Because I know even though you're a specific subgroup and you have a specific narrative you want to portray to your grouping, have you had to encounter and deal with this?
Jordan?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, would you like to answer that one?
How do you protect, Jordan? How do you protect Abeng 88.7 to keep that reputation so that, fake news and misinformation will not be spread through you?
Well,
yeah, Jordan.
Jordan, are you going to take that one?
Yeah, could you repeat the question, please?
All right, Jordan, we're just asking about how fake news and misinformation, you see it in your community, you see it on social media.
Right.
How is Abeng helping to, curb that spread and ensure that there's good quality, good information coming out of Abeng?
Well, I would say that Abeng would be a sort of a credible source because of where the radio station is situated in the heart of one of the most popular most popular Maroon communities. So I guess the false information would
You try to prevent as possible with your content.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say.
That's perfect. Malik just caught it, right?
No, man, I understood what he was saying. So, you have to support it. I beg 88.7 colleagues, Christina. That's
Of
just
course.
how we do it.
All right. So, right before we go to the break and we wrap up with you guys, we just want to know, what do you see in the future for Abeng 88.7?
I really want to see Abeng go international.
Ooh.
Yes.
I really want to see us getting bigger with more support, more people to work with us.
Right.
Because that's been a challenge.
And yes, go ahead, Jordan.
And we have the content. We are people who we enjoy doing this, and we would like to see it continue getting bigger, growing, expanding, stuff like that.
And Miss Norma?
We also the organization is set up as such that we have someone who monitors programs, a program development person. So any program will come on air has to be, that person has to overlook it, see to it that it is worthy of going on air, We have persons who write scripts. We have a technician. So everything is done in an organized manner before it gets on the air.
All right, we have to go to a break, but I want to thank you from Abeng 88.7 for coming on and sharing with us the culture, the heritage, the importance of what you guys do, and the importance of having a very powerful voice coming out of the Maroon community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
All right, guys, we're going to our break, but I just want to mention, of course, that Abeng 88.7 is supported by UNESCO.
Yes.
You know, they launched them together, they supported them, and even recently I saw that they had some sort of training and support going on. So they're very much investing in keeping Abeng as one of those cultural points.
And heritage.
Yes.
And we just saw so much Christina coming out. I'm just so wowed.
All right, so we have to take a break. When we come back, we have more on Talk Up Radio. Talk Up Youth, Musafi.
Talk Up Youth.
Universal Service Fund. So we tell them we connecting the nation, internet and information. We connecting the nation, bringing internet to you. Want to connect? Everybody have to get internet. No community access point. Connection could a day or night. And we've got public Wi-Fi, hotspot, and a touch you training. We got that, enabling those in need, connecting us to technology.
A message from the Universal Service Fund. Follow us on social media at USF Jamaica.
This February the 13th, we join UNESCO and thousands of stations in wishing you a beautiful World Radio Day. New World, New Radio is the theme of this 10th edition. In this year of change and adjustment, UNESCO and your local station are committed to ensuring that radio continues to evolve, to innovate, to connect.
Together, let's celebrate this day on www.worldradioday.org and our social networks #World Radio Day, #New World New Radio.
Hear that? Them think it's a joke. Sister, talk to them now. It's real. Do you have any doubt? This is what we're talking about. Nothing.
Under the pressure, yeah, under the pressure. If your watch up and take away now, we cheat in a second, cause we all under pressure, my friend. Sometimes when you feel it, you cry down. I hurt your heart, you know, but do not make it stress, cause it happy be better, not feel living at the gutter, be under the pressure, my friend.
And we born in the struggle, isolated in a bubble. One half for the rich, yet another for the poor. God bless and please help us, we can't take no more. We're feeling the pressure, we are down to the core. Oh, money for the and when them send it offshore. And every nation come here get rich and we stay poor. Them show you $20, we go through the back door. Tell them, so we can't take no more.
Under the pressure, yeah, under the pressure. If your watch up and take away now, we cheat in a second, cause we all under pressure, my friend. Sometimes when you feel it, you cry down. I hurt your heart, you know, but do not make it stress, cause it happy be better, not be living at the ghetto, be under the pressure, my friend. Yeah. Lord have mercy, this can't get no worse. I feel call it a curse, so me heart it a hurt me. Call it thirsty because from me birth to the first me, I feel like the father desert me. But all when the pressure erupt, me never give up. No, me never give in. And me send up a prayer for the better living. I can't ball, so I better me sing. And so under the pressure, yeah, under the pressure. If your watch up and take away now, we cheat in a second, cause we all under pressure, my friend. Sometimes when you feel it, you cry down. I hurt your heart, you know, but do not make it stress, cause it happy be better, not be living at the ghetto, be under the pressure, my friend. It's serious.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, coming to you live on Nationwide 90 FM. And today we are the voice of World Radio Day, powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. You're listening to the voice of your boy Malik, and Christina is here in studio with me. And we've just been having such an engaging discussion. And if you're just tuning in, World Radio Day is celebrated today, and World Radio Day is 110 years. I want to understand, say, radio is not a new come up thing. It's there a long time. And we have been giving you some key radio facts to keep you entertained and educated at the same time. So, as part of our edutainment, here's your next key radio fact. Popular Jamaican radio personalities like Louise Bennett Coverley and Ranny Williams, Alma Mokien, Radcliffe Butler, and Roy Reid got exposure that helped them launch their careers from appearances on radios. Yeah, but like already have boss with. So when we get big time as Christina, you understand now historically, even from right here in Jamaica, these household names that we've grown up appreciating and knowing started from appearances on radio.
Yeah, and you remember that time when we had that show about patois where we tried to do the entire show just speaking in patois alone?
Wow.
It's just important when I think about that, and I remember that, Louise Bennett Coverley, one of the global pioneers of Jamaica's culture and language, she started in radio too, so we were really just walking in her footsteps when we were doing that, It's just keeping the culture alive and using what radio gives us, a instantaneous global platform to just keep doing good,
And in researching World Radio Day, I realized that radio is a powerful medium for celebrating humanity in all its diversity and constitutes a platform for democratic discourse. At the global level, radio means the most widely consumed medium. As Christina and I just said earlier, in any situation, it is just so consistent that people consume what comes out from radio waves. But also the history of a nation, a history of a society, of an era, can be documented and archived through just listening to the radio. And this unique ability to reach out to the widest audience means radio can shape a society's experience of diversity, stand as an arena for all voices to speak out, be represented and heard. And just as recently, Christina, as we were in studio to show you how important radio is with the US elections.
Yes.
Mr. Hughes was right there, tuning in every day, keeping the people informed. And as the initial results were declared,
even our elections.
And then I was going to bring it even further back to our elections. We were consistently on the ground, being kept updated what was happening during campaigning period. The concerns because of the COVID-19 pandemic as well. And this because, best believe, we're coming out of COVID strong and soon. I'm keeping that positivity in the atmosphere that when we look back in history and listen to even the recordings, whether on our YouTube, in the podcast, we will hear all of these things that were part of our history. So radio really has this connectivity factor to it and this historical archiving factor to it that's so important.
Yes, and this factor about extra avenues, because we have all of these other media, all of these other platforms which we're able to share information, but what if they're not accessible to you where you are? And not only in an emergency situation, but for example with COVID-19, when certain students in different parts of the island don't have access to internet to be able to do online classes. Having classes on radio is actually really helpful, because even in community radio, a lot of them are actually broadcasting classes. Teachers can go there and have a show where they just talk about how you can get through a particular subject.
And I smiled because I remember when we were just hit by the pandemic here, we on Talk Up Radio were helping the CXC groups. Each week, one of us would come in and give a little 20-minute session just to keep the students motivated and zoomed in, because we weren't sure when exams would be, but we wanted to give them that hope and that discipline to keep it moving. Until now, we now have a PEP series. So it just shows you the dynamic way in which radio can impact our lives daily and professionally and as a part of our development. And I'm just so appreciative for this opportunity.
So Malik, I'm looking back at some of the shows that we've done over the years as Talk Up Radio.
Yes.
And, just last week we did a feature on Black History Month with Black History.
It was so powerful.
Young historians, where we just asked them to share a story from Black history that's important to you. And the different stories that came out were so, you would never even imagine that that's what young people actually wanted to take up from history. You get me? And sometimes I feel like we say young people aren't interested in these things.
Right.
We're not engaging. We don't care about it. But when you do create the space for youth voice, and you tell them to do what feels natural to you, what is important to you, you actually find that yes, they are interested. They just want to do things that are authentic to them.
I think it's just so amazing how even my development and growth here on Talk Up Radio has seen me appreciate even different perspectives than ones I've had. And that's important again about radio. It helps to carve your perspectives on various issues. So you get to share yours, but I also get to listen and be respectful to mine. And that's important as well as part of the dialogue. But Christina, further, I can't even choose a favorite episode.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that either. There's just been
if you were to choose your favorite Talk Up Radio episode, which one would it be? I can't choose. I'm sorry, Mr. Questioner.
I have loved so many of these episodes, like from our COVID-19 check-ins,
yes,
or foreign correspondent episodes, the collaborative conversations.
Well, I'm here for those. But Christina, when we really moved into this is a part of the trajectory and the vision that Mama E had for the program. I remember when I think it was our 3rd birthday celebration, she was saying, this is where she wants Talk Up to go, to become Talk Up in the households within the Caribbean and reach to the world. And now, even with this pandemic, we regroup, we refocused, and I'm just so excited now when we're saying we're going to now have Bajan Day. We're going to Barbados. Next week, we might go to Guyana. The week after, next month, we're going to Trinidad. And so it's a part of that vision to continue to grow and empower young people worldwide.
Across the region as well, because there's so much space for us to connect about similar issues, similar solutions, similar politics, similar history. We have so much in common.
But just listening to the Barbadian episode, I keep saying Barbadian or Bajan, it's the same thing. Right. But just listening to that, we realized how similar we are.
Exactly.
As two different nations just parted by the Caribbean Sea, but our young people face the same issues, the same concerns, and have the same views. So big up to Mama E for the vision as always to keep us engaged, empowered, and to get us to thinking to that higher level. How can we connect with others? And we have a big up Talk Up Radio and the Talk Up Youth production overall, Christina, because what we realized too is in these various Caribbean territories within the region, we are the, Jamaicans extra, but we are the front runners in putting young people on radio. I dare say it confidently. So Talk Up Youth.
All right, we're going to take a break. You've been listening to Talk Up Radio on Nationwide 90 FM, and today is our World Radio Day celebration, powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. Talk Up Youth, Musefi.
Talk Up Youth.
Nationwide, 90 FM is an affordable medium to advertise your business. Increase your sales with Nationwide's reasonably priced advertising packages customized to suit your pocket. Contact our sales department today at 630-1210 or 630-1216. That's 630-1210 or 630-1216. Nationwide, 90 FM. Smart advertising, value for your money.
This February the 13th, we join UNESCO and thousands of stations in wishing you a beautiful World Radio Day. New World, New Radio is the theme of this 10th edition. In this year of change and adjustment, UNESCO and your local station are committed to ensuring that radio continues to evolve, to innovate, to connect.
Together, let's celebrate this day on www.worldradioday.org and our social networks, #World Radio Day, #New World New Radio.
Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Let's Talk PEP on Nationwide 90 FM will assist students by placing increased emphasis on assessing students' skills of communication, critical thinking, and creativity. Listen to Nationwide this morning and every woman's questions of the day at 7:25 a.m. and 2:45 p.m. Questions can be found on our website, nationwideradiojm.com. Let's Talk PEP. Submit answers before 6 p.m. each day. Answers will be assessed and marked. PEP tips can be heard daily to help get you to the big day. Want to understand the processes and procedures needed to pass your PEP exams? Then stay tuned for Interaction with Solution during Talk Up Youth every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. and streaming live on Nationwide's YouTube channel. Let's Talk PEP on Nationwide 90 FM.
Brought to you by Versan Education Services, COK Sodality Co-op Credit Union, and Cleasing Industrial Supplies.
Determination, I'm a title. From your lazy, ya no like you. You a look strength all about when the strength is inside you. No one know the time for your idol.
Do not be envious of evil men. I desire to be with them. For their heart devises violence, and their tongue talk of troublemaking.
I beg you, please don't let me go. When I go to if you let me know. Protect me, roots me begging you. All of them wanna be you. We are judge of big men. I beg you, please don't let me go. When I go to if you let me know. Protect me, roots me begging you. All of them.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. And today we are the voice of World Radio Day with the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. You listen to the voice of your boy Malik, and I'm joined by none other than one of our co-producers,
Christina Monteith.
And we've just been having so much fun sharing radio facts as part of the 110th World Radio Day celebrations
that we're celebrating today on Talk Up Radio, powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO.
Now, your quick radio fact here is, when radio programming started in Jamaica, it was formatted after the BBC, but that was eventually Jamaicanized and evolved until the variety we have today emerged.
Yeah, that's why sometimes we come on the radio, I would say, yeah, Talk Up Radio thing and beer things, and we just talk up all of the
We
patois.
Jamaicanize it.
Yes, we make it our own because that's what radio allows you to do. Speaking of,
we are now joined by Isabel Vieira Bermudez, Advisor for Communication and Information in the UNESCO Kingston Cluster Office for the Caribbean. Buenas tardes, Isabel, or good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Up Radio.
Thank you so much. Buenas tardes a todos. I'm very glad to be here today. Very excited of being joining young people from Jamaica in this program.
Thank you.
All right, Isabel, you've had this amazing career in communications in the Caribbean over decades. From your perspective, how has radio played a role in the development in the Caribbean region?
So I believe that radio has been critical. It's a critical part of Caribbean and also in particular for Jamaica. You can sense that, well, most probably everyone understood from my accent that
right.
I am not Jamaican. So, and I can say that since the very first days that I started living here in Jamaica, I could sense the importance of radio. I could sense how everyone, if you are going in your car, if you are wherever you are, that you could be listening to something, people will be listening to the radio. So I think that it has really a critical role in Jamaicans' life. But you can not only that you can sense this, it's also that you could see it reflected in studies, surveys, and projects that are about radio. So it also has scientific data that can support what I'm saying, that is like something that you can sense. I think it's very important that your radio stations, your programs promote mass education. They promote health issues that are very important for the large public, for Jamaicans in general.
Right.
Also, that you have entertainment programs and you have music, which is so important for Jamaican people, and it's something that, well, for the whole world, it's like a very, very important and enjoyable thing.
I know, Isabel, just appreciating all of what you're saying about even us here in the Caribbean or Jamaica, but it seems like, every other day you hear that radio and other traditional platforms are dying or dead. Why does UNESCO care so much about radio?
Okay, so radio is still the medium that reaches the wider public in the world. Even that there has been so many advances in technology and everything, radio is the one that is still the one that reaches the most. So, and also to radio to be now innovative and to keep current is something that you can carry on with you wherever you go,
Right.
only having your cell phone with you, as I think someone mentioned before in the program. Also, it's nowadays easy to interact with radio through their social the social media channels of
Right.
the radio stations. I think it's also participative and reachable. So I think that's what UNESCO cares so much about radio, because it still gets to many people, and it's very important. For example, when we have emergency situations, when we have here in the Caribbean hurricanes, for instance, is the way that people can keep informed, and that they can also prevent damages from this kind of natural phenomenon.
So we have these amazing sustainable development goals. We call them the SDGs. And I know our listeners hear us here on Talk Up Radio talk about them so often, that we're all working towards. And here at Talk Up Radio, we're focused on connecting and amplifying young people who are taking action while using our space to share knowledge, resource, and build capacity for change making. How else can radio be useful in achieving the 2030 agenda?
Okay, you mentioned very important issues, and I would say that you could also use radio to obtain information relevant for the young people and for the country at large as regards of the achievement of these sustainable development goals by your own country. So it's a mean where you could that you could use to make the government responsible for achieving these goals, for advancing the national development plans that are linked also to the sustainable development goals.
Right.
So it's a way where you could keep informed of how is your country doing, and what has to be done to achieve those goals, and also to keep in track with your national development plans. In this regard, I would like to mention that specifically for youth, UNESCO has launched a youth campaign on Instagram, UNESCO Caribbean.
Yes.
And this campaign promotes equity, diversity, and inclusion through the voice of young people. Interested young persons can sign up and have the opportunity to be featured with an Instagram takeover on our Instagram channel.
Nice.
Yep, and you can register on our website, on our social media, which is UNESCO Caribbean. So this is also a way of UNESCO of young people being stimulated and to facilitate their participation in national plans to achieve the sustainable development goals in the country.
That is amazing.
Awesome, actually. Wow.
So we just want to know some more about what UNESCO Caribbean is doing, across the Caribbean, because we've been talking a lot about the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO, but we want to know what's going on in general.
Well, so UNESCO has a very strong network of national commissions. So same as we have here in Jamaica, we have national commissions in the other Caribbean countries. National commissions are our main partner in the different countries, and through them we do a similar work than we do here in Jamaica. So, for example, this network is a Caribbean network. So any young people from all the Caribbean countries could register and could take part of this initiative. And we also work with the community radios in other Caribbean countries. And as much as possible, we provide capacity building. We assist on the update or the implementation of the national policies that frame the work of radios, and this we do in all these countries from the Caribbean.
That's amazing. It's very much interesting to see that, the same frameworks and policies that we have here, same interest that we have here in investing in radio is being,
canvassed all over.
All over the Caribbean.
I know earlier today we spoke to Abeng Radio about radio's role in community building, culture and heritage. Then we touched on, a little bit more with them about their history. How do these concepts show up in your work at UNESCO?
We are very proud, I have to say, and congrats to a Bang radio station. The station was born together with UNESCO, so for us it's part of our work and part of also of our heart. I think that it highlights how freedom of expression can be actually implemented here in Jamaica. So, because it gives voice to communities that normally might not have a voice as easy, cannot be heard as easy. So, it's a way and an example for us of freedom of expression, and it's also very important for us that it promotes cultural diversity. So, one challenge that we are now working on, and we would like to have a project on that, is about the sustainability of those radio stations. UNESCO is not a funding agency, but we are trying to find a way of having innovative ways of making the radio station sustainable. So I do hope that we succeed in this effort, because Abeng Radio is really a very important radio station here in Jamaica.
A model. And what do you want to see in the future for the Caribbean and for radio in general?
Well, I would like to see, as regards to young people, full participation and leadership. So the young people is the driving force of society, and their leadership in media and in particular in radio is very important. So I would like to see that, and I would like to see, Jamaica is one of the countries, it's a country in the Caribbean, in the whole Caribbean, that ranks the higher in the Freedom of Expression Index from Reporters Without Borders. So let's keep that good work.
Yes, definitely keep that good work, and keep doing the good work you guys are doing, because so much investment, so much energy is being put into radio and community building and participation across the Caribbean. We definitely have to applaud you for that work. Thank you so much for joining us, Isabel.
Thank you.
So that was Isabel Vieira Bermudez, Advisor for Communication and Information in the UNESCO Kingston Cluster Office for the Caribbean. We're going to take a break from World Radio Day here on the Talk Up Radio, brought to you by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. Talk Up Youth, Musefi.
Talk Up Youth.
This are the national dengue free crew. Come join the fight, stop mosquito from bite you. That mean we are go clean up school, workplace, home and community too. We have a task at plan, every crevice and corner for clean of the plan. Make we get rid of dengue across the island. Let's put it on the Facebook and Instagram. Tell the whole nation say this are the national dengue free crew. Come join the fight, stop mosquito from bite you.
Mosquitoes wanted dead, not alive. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Stop buying expensive toner cartridges. Global Ink is now selling new factory direct generic toners. Remove factory seals, install and print. Engineered to work first time, every time. Certified for use in HB and Brother printers. Worry-free, affordable printing for your peace of mind. Money saved is money earned. We deliver island-wide. 754-7444 or 1-888-NEED INK. Never run out of toner again. Global Ink.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you.
Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come on, let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Those oldies but goodies reminds me of you. Can't take it no more. So me jump on a bus and me gone down a country. Same thing I want down there. The little youth them a fire gun down there. How the country I come to.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, coming to you live on Nationwide 90 FM. And if you're just joining us, happy World Radio Day! And World Radio Day is being celebrated today, and we are powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. Can you imagine radio is 110 years old? And your radio fact right now is that at the global level, radio remains the most widely consumed medium.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stats from Deloitte, which is, a research company.
Yes.
Nearly 3 billion people worldwide listen to radio weekly.
Wow.
3 billion.
And it can be the person who has access to all the other social media and popular media to the person who only has access to a little beanie radio.
So when we say the reach global, we mean global.
And I just want to share, Christina, just one quick comment from the YouTube page. I see Marigold has written that many of our communities were built on radio series such as Dulcimina, Hopeful Village, The Fortunes of Floralee, and Lime Tree Lane, to name a few. This is history again, we're getting in, because the only one I know on that list is Lime Tree Lane.
And also, I have never heard them in my life. Ever. I only hear them anecdotally from my parents. I don't know any of them, but that is crazy, We still have that knowledge of culture and heritage because it's a part of, you always hear people older than you talk about them, right?
But now we're being joined by math teacher, researcher, philanthropist, and a budding educational thought leader, and a youth advisory council member for Jamaica, Michaelia Gonzalez, and Aldon Curry, youth leader, and also they are both members of the UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network. Hi guys, hi Michaelia, hi Aldon, welcome to the Talk Up Radio Show.
What are you guys doing?
We're good. All right, so let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about the UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network. What is it and what do you do as members? Starting with Michaela.
Right, so hi everyone. Thank you again for having us. So, for the UNESCO Youth Network, we ensure that, young people have a space to talk about the issues, all of them that fall under, the main focuses of UNESCO. So we're talking about the humanities, we're talking about education, we're talking about science, And so, what we have done, just like when you think about any youth committee, we're trying to ensure that we're not just making decisions and then including our young people,
Right.
but what UNESCO has decided to do is why not bring young people to the table? Why not let them determine what their initiatives will be? Why not let them, shape what kind of impact they will have? And so, I guess I can, share the spotlight with Alan for him to talk about some of the initiatives that I know even he helps us to spearhead, with some of his ideas like the mental health forum and the speed. So we even, had a activity which was like a speed mentoring, similar to speed dating. And I say that because I know Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
Right.
So we had a speed mentoring session, and, we had, some very well-renowned persons there, and, the young people, they got a chance to, as the name suggests, so you go around the table and you get to know the person, but, in a similar fashion to speed dating. And I'm pretty sure Alden wants to add some, so I'll let him share.
Yeah, go ahead, Alden.
All right. So, the Jamaica Youth Network, it in itself is amazing. It is the first of its kind right across the world in terms of UNESCO. So we literally would have set the standard. We have done many things. We now have the Ambassador and Volunteers Program,
Okay.
which see us, engaging a lot of young people doing a series of projects. As Michaela said, we would have done projects at Tree Planting Day project. We have our ambassadors, plan their own very different projects right across the island to execute the different things that they see fit, in terms of the SDGs,
Right.
along with other things. So it is strictly youth engagement, and I must say thanks to Minister Charles, who is our chairman and one of the brainchild of this whole thing.
And now, Alden, you've done so much work in youth engagement, as you've been discussing for us just now, at the community level and the national level, and you even represented Jamaica at the 2019 Media Information and Literacy Conference.
In Sweden.
Wow.
Yes, Gothenburg,
In
Sweden.
Gothenburg, yeah.
So, what's that experience with UNESCO JYN been for you? Not just, from the activities you've described earlier, but overall.
It has been a life-changing experience. It has been one that provided the means for, the ideas that I would have had, and the thoughts that I would have had to be able to come to fruition, just to be within that space among, great minds, other young minds. So, I can tell you about my experience in Sweden. I can tell you about the fact that, I had to represent Jamaica and Jamaica's youth in terms of media information literacy. And it brought a lot of things to the forefront of my mind, and it encouraged me, to want to do even more here in Jamaica.
That's powerful. And it's a big deal for us here talking about media information
Yes.
literacy. It's like, bread and butter, right? So we're very grateful that you're sharing about that. Michaela, your work in STEM and with your Math Whiz Academy is amazing, and we've definitely been talking about it here as well. You're doing some really good work. So just tell us, what motivates you to want to play a role in Jamaica's development, and how has being a member of the UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network facilitated or supported that?
Yeah, two very big questions. In terms of just what makes me want to give back to Jamaica, I see so much potential, and I think I can start with myself. So it's like when I think about all the things I have been able to do with the little resources that I have, it just makes me feel so inspired and so encouraged to just want to include other young people, because, sometimes you think, okay, if I can do so much, what more could we do if we all join together? And so for me, what continues to inspire me, and a big part of that has come from the exposure that UNESCO has given to me, is, just being around other young people. I also was able to represent Jamaica, in 2019 at the Youth Forum in Paris, and just being around so many other young people who, I can tell you guys, if you think I am doing a lot, I can tell you that these young people around the world are doing some tremendous things. And
that is true.
It just makes you feel like, you're not too young to make a change.
Right.
You don't have to be rich to make a change. Like, it's just about having the passion. It's about unity. It's about being
And wanting to make a change.
inspire. Right, exactly. And so, in terms of STEM education, first of all, that's how I think Minister Charles even knew about me, because I've been preaching about Jamaica and education and, the equal access to education. So anybody who knows me knows that's what I will talk about on any platform and stage that I'm given. And so, as I said, UNESCO just consistently gave me a voice. Even if it was a small group in Jamaica or overseas, I feel like UNESCO has just really been true to their mandate of supporting young people, and not just in a way where, you say you're giving young people a chance, but I've literally seen them, as I said, this is another platform because somebody else is going to hear about, the work that UNESCO is doing, is going to hear about the fact that you mentioned Matthews Academy. So I am just forever grateful to UNESCO for all that they have done for me.
And just the passion and drive in which Michaela is speaking, Christina. Just last November during Youth Month, she was also a panelist during the YACJ, the Youth Advisory Council Forum, and she'd have spoken about some of these things as well, about the equal access to education. But I'll start with you first, Alan, and then Michaela. Why would you encourage other young people to get involved with the UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network, and how could they if interested?
Okay. I'd encourage young people, to get involved, because this is one of the platforms that allows young people to have their voice being heard, allow young people to make a change, to be a part of a change. And how can young people get involved? They can get involved when the applications for the Ambassadors and Volunteers program opens.
Yes.
And as soon as that is open, persons can apply.
Michaela?
Right, so I definitely agree. You can also reach out to us on social media, at, the UNESCO Youth. And I would also say, yes, we're waiting on the applications to reopen, but, sometimes you can still just reach out. Maybe we're in a project and you want to be a part of it. We're more than welcome. We don't turn back anybody simply because you're not part of the program.
Right.
Before then, you can try just to see if, any of our initiatives align with what you want to do. I would definitely also want to encourage other young people just to be involved, whether it's through UNESCO. I think UNESCO is a great avenue, especially because of the international influence that they have. And I know a lot of persons, sometimes for me, I know my exposure just to be in other countries.
Yes.
When I went to the forum, I learned so much just about how education, for example, which is what I'm passionate about, how does that look in other countries? What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? And just that exposure allowed for me to make even better recommendations, in terms of how I approach my educational solutions in Jamaica. And the truth is, until you get exposure, sometimes your perspective is just limited. So I would say to any young person, just broaden your horizon. And sometimes that doesn't take you literally having to go and travel. The fact that myself and Alan have done it, we have brought back the knowledge. And so sometimes you just want to put yourself around other young persons who have the knowledge, have the experience, and that could also be your avenue to exposure.
I'm just so loving the work of UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network. I think if my memory serves me right, our other co-producer, Andrika Rigg, was also a part of this network at one time. Yes, she's around here nodding her head and her face start get pink. Yes, Andrika, I remember.
No, but Malik, let me one up and bring this full circle. I just last month or a couple months ago did a forum with UNESCO as well.
Well, look like we're running back into this UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network.
Media information and literacy. And Aldon, you're lucky we could have meet up at Sweden because I was invited to that one too.
So Aldon and Michaela,
UNESCO doing so much for youth voice all across Jamaica. So I love hearing you guys' experiences, especially when Michaela says sometimes you don't even know the possibility of the things that you can do until you hear other youth say, yeah, I only had $50 and I was doing this in my community. Trust me.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
And then, a big part of Talk Up Radio's mission regarding the Sustainable Development Goals and even our mission overall is to, encourage young people to be a part of various initiatives. How are you taking the action in your own ways, Michaela and Aldon, apart from just UNESCO, to
with
get young
SDGs.
people, to get young people involved and engaged with the SDGs?
All right, so I don't know. Yeah, Aldon, you can go. No, you can go.
All right, go Aldon and then Michaela.
I mean, COVID has, put us in a position to now be creative and to, try to be engaging, along the protocol lines. So last year, I thought, I need to be doing something. So what I did, I came up with an idea to have a FIFA competition.
Okay.
Now, this is where you have young persons play game, yes, football game.
Yeah.
Within the Brompton and Crawford and Middle Quarters areas of St. Elizabeth. And I can tell you, it was amazing. They came out, and we have them in different spaces, and it was just lovely. You're talking about young people who just wanted an avenue to, not be doing particular things. Young people who would have been using their time in some of the most illicit ways.
Right.
So it was something that created a natural buzz. It got their attention, and they're looking forward to doing it, because what I would like to see is for a partnership with EA Sports, to give them a platform to be able to be something bigger, within EA Sports, from Jamaica here, and to go abroad.
And when we even look at that, Christina, that's goal 3, good health
Exactly.
and well-being through the exercise and the activity that could get involved
So
in as
many
well.
goals in that.
Yeah.
Michaela, quickly, because we have to go to that break, but I definitely want to hear this.
Yes, completely. Thank you, guys. So for me, again, I'm going to have to speak about education and just, the impact that it has been, that COVID has had on, our education system in Jamaica and our children. So for me, what I've been doing, you made mention earlier about Masteries Academy, which I am the CEO of, guys, and that's a tutoring company online. Mm-hmm. But the part of it that I've specifically used, I think, to inspire and encourage other young persons is that, I've been having free marathons. Apart from paid classes, I've been really encouraging myself and other young persons especially to allow us to have free marathons for children, especially because
quality
they're not
education.
transitioning right. They're
Goal
not transitioning very well to the education space, and it's just if you know you have the knowledge and you have the time and you can make that impact, then why not? And so I've really just been trying to re-inspire persons in terms of just the profession of being a teacher, trying to make it look fun, look attractive, because I feel like if we have more quality teachers going into that space, then we'll also have students who are coming out who enjoy it because they know that their teachers enjoy it. So it's just quality education for me. I think I've just been trying to inspire those around us to all step up in whatever way that we can.
Thank you so much, Michaela and Aldon, for sharing about your work and what you've been doing with the UNESCO Jamaica Youth Network. All right, guys, we have to take a break. When we come back, we'll be doing more on Talk Up Radio's World Radio Day broadcast, powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO.
Attention! Corporations, hotels, medical labs, doctors' offices. Protect your staff and patients from contracting or spreading COVID-19. Know your status. Get a COVID-19 antigen rapid test. Results in 15 minutes. Identify asymptomatics with 99% accuracy. Call approved business solutions 876-283-2056 or Microcheck Laboratories 876-879-0012. Kits are internationally accredited or approved by the Ministry of Health. Keep your negative test card to show.
This February the 13th, we join UNESCO and thousands of stations in wishing you a beautiful World Radio Day. New World, New Radio is the theme of this 10th edition. In this year of change and adjustment, UNESCO and your local station are committed to ensuring that radio continues to evolve, to innovate, to connect.
Together, let's celebrate this day on www.worldradioday.org and our social networks, #World Radio Day, #New World New Radio.
Protect me, youths, me begging you. All of them are wanna be ya. We can judge a business, and I beg you, please don't let me go. Them I go do if you let me know.
Nationwide now presents Let's Talk PEP, brought to you by Versan Education Services and COK Sodality Co-op Credit Union.
Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Christina.
And I'm Malik.
And we're still celebrating World Radio Day, even in this pep segment. But we're going to do the pep segment because we have to protect the little children's.
Welcome and let's talk pep. Today we're reviewing some of the questions that our bright sparks have some difficulties with. And it's important to remember that struggling with a question is okay, guys. You can always try again. And with practice, you can master anything. And to help us review these questions, we have Miss Shara K. McLeave, who is a grade 6 teacher at the Mount Ward Primary School in Hanover. Welcome back to Talk Up Radio, Miss McLeave.
Hi.
How
Thank you for
are
having
you?
me. I'm great.
So let's look at question 1. If the day after tomorrow will be Sunday, what was the day before yesterday?
All right. That's a tricky question. That's a question that so many persons would have said, oh, wow. But let's go. First, I advise you as children or those who are attempting the question. First, I say, divide the question into segments or parts. Look at what the question is asking you for. All right? So the first section is asking you for a number of things. So the day after tomorrow is Sunday, right?
Yes.
So it is Sunday. So the first question you want to answer is, what is tomorrow?
If the day after tomorrow will be Sunday.
Yes.
What is tomorrow?
So you want we answer it?
Yes, man.
Saturday.
All right. So tomorrow is Saturday.
Yes.
So what is today?
Friday.
All right. So you know that today is Friday.
Yes.
Yes. The second half of the question now is where the big question is. Most of your students would have responded probably Friday and left it there or selected Friday. Some of them might even have selected Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But the question at hand, the question you really want to answer is this. Yeah? What was the day before yesterday? So you know what today is?
Friday.
What is yesterday?
Thursday.
The day before yesterday is
Wednesday.
Yes. So the answer would be Wednesday. So you have to take your time and you have to look at the question. Not only look at the question, but look at what the question is asking you for. Yes?
Yes.
They also would have given you tips to guide you to getting arriving at your answer.
Wow.
Tricky
Boy,
little
Pep,
question.
yeah. Let's look at question 2. Select the word that best completes the statement. Rain is to water as smoke is to blank. Rain is to water as smoke is to blank. Heat, pollution, climate, fire.
Thank you for giving the options. This is a question that, of course, because we get options, we are just leaning towards one particular answer.
Right.
And it is association. Yes, we're associating. What do I associate rain with? I associate it with water. So what do I associate smoke with? I know my students, most of them who are just hurrying or rushing through the questions would have selected fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because automatically wherever you think of smoke,
fire.
You think fire. But no, we're looking at results. As a result of the rain, after the rain we see water. But before you see smoke, you see fire. After the smoke, what happens? We have a whole lot of pollution.
Wow. No, because
General Star. No.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Wrong box.
How do you do
I
that?
would not get that so wrong.
Smoking kills. Smoking destroys the environment. Smoke is a pollutant. Yes?
You know how you really convinced me, say?
The before and after.
It's the before and after, you know?
Yeah.
After the rain, you get the water.
Mm-hmm.
But you get the fire before the smoke.
And therefore you get the pollution
Wow.
after the smoke.
Yes,
All right,
as a result.
Wow, let's look at question number 3. Which of the following is the odd one out. Coal, plastic, chalk, wood.
Yes. So again, you have options and multiple choice questions. Most times persons would say, oh, they're so easy. I remember just going through minutes, or not minutes ago, but some time ago with my students, this part, a question similar to this. And we had an array of explanation for their responses. And I'm pretty sure the persons who participated in this survey would have given you similar responses. So they would tell you that, of course, the answer is plastic. The answer is plastic because everything else is organic, everything else is natural. Yes.
Makes sense.
But that is not the answer. All right? Because they're not looking in terms of what is organic or what is not organic, right? What they're looking for is something more, something that they all can do. All of them can be burnt. When we look at wood, when we look at coal, when we look at plastic, heat can be applied to them. Not true?
Yes.
And as a result of that, chalk is the odd one out.
Wow. I feel like we have to go back to grade 6, Christina.
Every
all
single
over,
week,
all over,
Miss
all
McLeave
over.
does this to us. I make her walk back to grade 6.
No, man, you have to go before grade 6. You have to remember that PEP is not only testing you at the grade 6 level.
Yes.
It's testing you prior to all of that. So you have to try and remember everything that you would have, not everything, but
Right.
you have to also be critical in your thinking. And at this time, I just want to say hi to all the Mount Ward primary grade 6 students.
Big up Mount Ward primary.
And the principal, and of course, all of those who are listening, or parents, and all the peppers. Just remember,
yes,
all you have to do is try. If you get it incorrect the first time, just continue, push on. Your aim is to do your best.
Absolutely.
And that's it. I think thank you so much for joining us again, Miss McLeave. And I want all our listeners to tune in for next week for more questions and answers in our Let's Talk Pep. To see the questions, visit nationwideradiojm.com under the heading Let's Talk Pep. You can even submit the questions you're struggling with. So parents, you can encourage the kids, submit the questions they are troubling with and send them in before 6 p.m. each day. And special thanks as well to the Lannerman's Prep School in Kingston and their expert teacher, Mr. Longman, for these questions this week. Thank you again, Miss McLeave, and I think we have to take a break.
Nationwide has just presented Let's Talk PEP, brought to you by Versan Education Services and COK Sodality Co-op Credit Union.
Come to Frame Art Jamaica Limited for your one-stop framing, graphic design, and printing needs. We frame photos, certificates, paintings, t-shirts, and so much more. We print banners and print on canvas. You can also get high-quality prints and framing done in a quick turnaround time to fit your budget. Visit Frame Arts Jamaica at 22C Old Hope Road, Kingston 5, Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-929-3058 or visit us at info@frameartjamaica.com. Serving you for more than 30 years.
The Congregation of Yahweh in Jamaica brings a fresh approach to your Sunday morning. Tune in to Nationwide Radio this and every Sunday at 9 a.m. for A People for His Name. It's 1 hour of inspiration and spiritual upliftment. So join in and lift your hearts in praise with A People for His Name. Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on Nationwide Radio, a revolution in media.
You are asked, we listened, and now we have the answer. Shop NNN is finally here! Shirts, mugs, cups, bags, and so much more! Follow Shop NNN on Instagram and _shop.nnn and click on the website link in the bio. NNN branded merchandise is our way of ensuring you feel like a welcomed member of the extended NNN family. Shop now! Shop NNN merchandise galore!
No dear man never switch up in the Gideon. In number one pair of sneakers, me one black pants. Them time they judge did that prepare me. Now as I get to use, to tear me. Done well with proud of who is, proud of the downtown. That's where me come from. So we proud of every place so that we put up. What take a sperm donor? You wanna know soldier, how you feel be senior and I neglect your junior. Run when the pressure reach you, you're not gonna beat you. That's why me have to.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
I'm Christina.
And I'm Malik.
And we're still having World Radio Day here
on the Talk Up Radio Show,
powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. So, we've been speaking so much about how important radio is to us and to the world, to the 3 billion people who listen to it weekly.
Wow, those stats are just amazing.
Yeah, and how it's 110 years old. But Malik, what's the last radio fact for us today?
So the last radio fact today, as we celebrate 110 years World Radio Day, is radio continues to forge links, provide services to each other, and to adapt to our lifestyles thanks to new technologies. And so now we have podcasts, internet, and wireless headphones. Wow, radio is just amazing.
And it's so versatile, and it's so, changing and evolving with us and moving. So we're looking forward to seeing what the next part of radio will be. Who will be the new voices? What will be the new, usage that we'll develop with it as we go along, Podcasting is here, but what's next? What's new? Because radio just keeps moving with us. It's evolution, innovation,
standing the
connection.
test of time, but also evolving. Wow.
And, so UNESCO globally, the World Radio Day celebrations, because, this particular episode is with the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. But World Radio Day is a global celebration. And so part of what they wanted this to be is to remind everybody that radio has been a part of our media landscape for years and evolves according to events, the sanitary, socioeconomic, political, and legislative context. So radio definitely molds and takes on different dimensions in different places, in different times.
Yes.
You get me? Also to encourage the connection and maintenance of the link that radio provides thanks to the various services offered in all circumstances and worldwide. Speaking of worldwide, we wanted to reach out today to other radio stations across the world, but we had a little challenge getting to our friends in Nigeria. So I want to big them up same way because they're still doing a lot of good work. Go and look at Trend 101. Big them up. And then the third point was to emphasize the different ways to listen to the radio anytime and anywhere, making it the number one media for mobility, thanks to its adaptation to new technologies. You get me?
Growth, evolution, diversity.
And it's so personal, when you listen to us on Talk Up Radio, you're listening to our voices. You're getting such an intimate relationship with us to understand what we care about and what we love. So we love radio, and we have to big it up every time.
But to love radio because of the way in which it has helped us to grow. Talk Up Youth.
Talk Up Youth. All right, Malik. So we have a little bit of social media.
Yes.
And we have a little bit of stuff. But first of all, we have to thank the entire UNESCO, Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO team that helped us to organize today.
Yes.
Miss Isabel for sharing all of these amazing concepts and what's going on with the UNESCO Caribbean and the Kingston Cluster Office. Also,
the youth. The
yes.
youth arm and the amazing work they are doing. And as I say, you can follow them on UNESCO Youth. And also Isabel told us about UNESCO Caribbean to get more information. If you want to really, really, really become a part of the Jamaica Youth Network for UNESCO, you go on UNESCO Youth and sign up.
Yeah, and big up Dr. Maria Smith anywhere you are. So much work went into this broadcast. Of course, Mama Empress, because she knows what was going on and really put this together as well. Big up everybody from Abeng 88.7. such a powerful and important part of the media landscape in Jamaica. It's not just about the big stations and
Yes.
the national broadcast and the 24-hour coverage. Sometimes it's about what's happening in your community at
And
the
the
local
uniqueness of it.
level, and the culture and the heritage. And I can't stop saying culture and heritage because those two things are essential to building actual participation.
And Mama E shared on the YouTube page this morning. She said, the New World, New Radio affirms the central role of radio for today and tomorrow because more than ever, we need this universal humanities medium, vector of freedom. Without radio, the right to information and freedom of expression, fundamental freedoms would be weakened. So it's just so important the role radio plays for our humanity and our growth.
Absolutely. So we're going to encourage you to keep paying attention to the ways how radio is enriching your life and how, you can continue to engage with it and to become a part of the radio revolution happening globally. Stay with radio, stick with it, and keep, playing into what's going on globally as far as this type of media is concerned.
So can we touch quick social media?
Yes, we can touch quick social media before we go.
Yeah. So 422 million budget for vaccines. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has defended the signing of the $422 million emergency vaccine communication contract, even before eyebrows are raised about the massive budget. The one-year contract, which has been awarded to one integrated group, will see the company earning $22 million, with the balance going towards advertising spend such as radio, television and newspaper advertisements, as well as on-the-ground activation and deployment in various communities, plus the development of content and securing talent.
Yeah, and Malik, what do you think about that?
I think it's important that we sensitize. I think people, though, are willing, because I'm getting mixed reviews or responses when you listen to radio or you watch it on social media, to how is it we are going to be responding to the vaccine. But I think it's really, really important, the sensitization, to really get the buy-in from citizens, because you'll have persons who will say, yes, I want the vaccine, but we're not so sure about how this thing works. Its effectiveness, has it been tried and proved and tested? So I know it's going to be a very mixed reactions from our citizens, but once they get that activation plan up and running to sensitize people, then we should work towards the positivity of the buying to the vaccine.
Yeah, and I've also been seeing mixed reviews, but a lot of what I've been seeing is people saying, 422 million, that is too. I'm like, do you understand how hard it is to get people to do anything in public health?
But also at a time like this when people are also scared for their own lives to go out there.
So communications is not just, coming out and doing a one show. It's about crafting messages that will resonate. It's about ensuring that we understand your fears and your needs and put those into messages so that you get the quality critical information that you need. So yes, it is going to take a lot of work, and there are a lot of people that are going to be putting their brain power towards making sure that you have the information that you need to make the decision that you need to make for you and your family. So this budget is, in my estimation, as somebody who's worked in media and communications for 8 years now, it's on par, honestly. So I don't see any sort of discrepancy here. There's a lot of work to be done with this vaccine. You already hear people on WhatsApp sending around message about the thing chip and is the mark of the beast. All sorts of things already. So they have to counteract all of those messages, all of the misinformation, all of that. So when they come and they get programs like this one or other ones on radio to tell you what's going on, yeah, it's going to take a lot of spending, but it's critical.
For our benefit.
It's important.
And I think when you look back at what is happening today, Christina, you realize you really can't. I'm not saying we must be wanton or reckless in our spending, but you really can't put a price on health and wellness.
Simple. And if you look at the numbers that we're having for COVID since this week, with the community spread, you must understand how important it is that we do get this thing under control and that we take the measures very seriously. So yes, spending more on communications regarding that is so important to me. All right, so we're going to wrap up. This is the end of our broadcast on World Radio Day. I'm so sad to see it go because, like I said earlier, it's almost like a birthday to us when we're talking about World Radio Day. So I just want to thank all of our listeners. thanking everybody who tuned in today, the entire UNESCO Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO team, thanking our guests, the entire Talk Up Youth team, executive producer Empress, producers, myself, and Andrika Rigg. Andrika did so much work this week. Just putting this together, I want to thank Andrika. Engineers, Andrew Anderson and David McNeish, and the entire Nationwide family. I'm my co-host, Malik Kelly.
It's just been a pleasure again, as always, and I really enjoyed this experience, World Radio Day. It really just showcased, how important it is, not just for us in Jamaica, but the world. And I have to big up my Talk Up team. Thank you all the time for giving us this space. And I'm looking forward to the other episodes coming up this month.
Alrighty, we have
Reggae Month and another Caribbean Youth Connection.
Yes,
where will we be going this time?
I'm not telling you yet. You're going to find out next week when we hop over to another Caribbean island on Talk Up Radio. Big thanks to all the viewers on YouTube for the amazing comments, sharing your own experiences with radio. You can go over to Nationwide 90 FM's YouTube channel to see that. And of course, Talk Up Radio will have another amazing broadcast next week. But this was our World Radio Day celebration powered by the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO. And that's it from us this week. I'm Christina.
And I'm Malik.
And we'll see you next week. Talk Up Youth, Musafi.
Talk Up Youth.
Never let him son and don't neglect him daughter. Take care of the responsibility. Never neglect them bikini. When you turn on daddy and the craziest child, no matter if it is a girl or a boy, you have to take it serious, just like no time.